indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Get the roll call, please.
Yes. Broad.
Here.
Palazzo.
Here.
DeBelzer. Frick.
Here.
Lancaster.
Here.
Noel.
Here.
Sarniso.
Here.
Smith.
Present.
7 present, 1 absent.
Are there any additions or changes to the agenda? Seeing none, let's move into the approval of minutes. The council minutes from May 7th, 2024. Do I have a motion to approve?
There were a couple of things that needed to be changed in there. I sent an email over to Nicole.
Yeah.
So we should have a motion and.
We need a motion and a second.
And then
No.
discussion, then we can amend the thing that changes.
So. We got a motion and a second.
Or maybe it's broad, I don't know.
Sorry, so.
Whoever she wants to.
And then.
Whoever's name is short.
Okay. So there's-
There are 3 things. Do you want me to say them now?
Sure.
Okay. It said that the motion for the Friday event was, so moved, I guess. And in fact, however, there was no mention of the 2 nay votes. So I'm not sure if that's necessary, but I think that should be in the minutes.
Yeah, we should change it. That was, should have been a roll call, though. It was a roll call.
It was a roll call,
So
and
we
that
went,
should be recorded.
yes, so, we'll go ahead and make that change.
And also, a lot of the members of the public were cited as being against the Pride event, when in fact, many of them said they weren't against the Pride event, but they were against the drag show. So I think we should also have those minutes reflected to read that. And then I don't believe there was a note, that there were others who wished to speak out in opposition, who were not given the time to do so. So I think that should also be noted.
Okay, let's find out where is
changes
the
are.
where's the second change? What
It's at the
paragraph?
very bottom of the minutes, or at the very, yeah. it's
I don't
very
agree with that change actually, because the only thing we have the power to do is approve or disapprove.
I understand.
Their contingency as to what is an approved or not, like, their contingency that the drag shows the problem doesn't change the fact that they don't approve of the event.
I agree with that sentiment, except for the fact that the members of the public aren't under our same rules, and they were here speaking out, and their speaking out was against
They're
that.
speaking out against the approval of the
But
project,
many of them said we're in favor of the project.
against the approval of the project.
Yeah.
All right.
So right now, it's either support in or
Some did.
support out.
Yeah,
Well, we have some members come out too, and they speak on topics that have nothing to do with what we can say, and we wouldn't say, oh, they were here in opposition of the stripes on the wall. We would say what they said they were here for.
No, actually, generally we do just say support or against.
Okay.
so
I went
For
down
most of the
person
minutes,
through person
That's
and
fine.
wrote down what, if they were in support or against.
Yeah.
That's fine. We can, I just am on the record saying that's what I think is more appropriate, but I don't think there was a mention of the fact that there were other people here who didn't get time to speak as well. So I think that should also be put in the minutes. But that's everything.
You would make an adjustment. So first of all, they need to vote to accept the minutes with those recommended changes.
Right.
So this is a change. The second one, are we have to do those? So
Do you want to amend with all 3 included and then you?
I don't want to argue with everybody about little things, but I do think we should have the votes be reflected correctly.
Documented.
yes,
Yeah.
that was a roll call. That's.
And I do think, sorry, I do think there should be a note at the end that states that there were other people here who wish to speak and they don't have time.
So after this last one, okay, so you can put another thing and saying, additional public comment was asked, but ran out of time or something like that.
Do we want to get a second on the amended?
And the friendly amendment, if the original person who made the motion agrees to it and the seconder agrees to it. Otherwise. you need to vote on the amendment.
Can you explain that again?
Well, we have a motion on the floor to approve the minutes. Now we're going to make some changes. If the
Yes.
person who made the motion agrees with the changes, and the person who seconded that motion agrees with the changes, then we can just go ahead and incorporate it and vote. Otherwise, we'll need a motion to amend the minutes
This is hard.
Did you understand why my email was like?
That's why I sent the email.
Okay.
And so.
Are you accepting the?
I
since
believe
you
that it
seconded
could be documented a little bit more thoroughly,
Right,
because
but
it's not a stereotyping.
We're switching it from
across the
3 complaints to the 2 complaints. Are you accepting of that? The changes to the minutes? Or we vote on all 3?
Yes, yes.
That's,
I'm
I'm
just
asking the
recalling what you
She's the
recited to
second.
her.
yes, Tammy, you're the second, so I'm just asking if you're.
That'd be fine, yes.
Okay.
I just
So-
wanted to remember what she said about
What about
the
me?
third one.
Yes,
You're the second.
You were, that was the original,
Oh, okay.
this is the amended. She made a motion, she amended the
Oh, okay,
motion, we're
gotcha.
changing it. All right, so the additions, the amendments
lost it.
are to reflect the proper vote count and to reflect that there was additional members of the public here that wish to speak that were not, did not have
Yes.
time.
So that's the only 2.
Are these the only 2?
I just feel like I don't want our community to appear as hurtful or hateful as it sounds if we don't amend that third portion, because there were people that were in favor of the event, just not to, I'm one of them. I
Yeah.
mean, the drag portion outside, I'm just not in love with the idea. It doesn't mean I don't like people. It doesn't mean it at all. So I think that should represent our community, because the community is not hurtful and hateful. Some people are a little off.
Are you willing to accept the,
The third one, please, yes.
you're not gonna accept the amendment? We want 2.
I want to,
You're not gonna get a.
Do you
we're
wanna
gonna
do
vote-
it?
So we don't get
you
all
want a
the
third one,
We'll
we're gonna have to make a motion to amend.
okay, I'm gonna make a motion to amend that we represent our community thoroughly.
Okay, so this goes for all 3 being amended. All in favor signify by saying aye. All opposed? Nay.
I need it, I need
So,
that
no-
personalized, who all made? Yes, my show hand, 4 or 5,
Yeah. So all of
Thank
those
you.
amendments are out.
yes,
Yeah, okay.
thank you.
You
So
understand
are
what's
there
happening?
no amendments
The
being
roll
changed?
call one should be.
So we
No.
don't have the vote properly
You
recorded?
still haven't voted to approve. the
Got it,
minutes.
so we have
Right.
to, okay, we
Do you
got
wanna
to
make, do you wanna make another
Otherwise-
amendment with just the 2?
Got it, got it.
Okay, amend with just the 2, all in favor, we have a second on that?
I gotta grab the candy.
Second, whatever.
I'll second.
Okay, Don seconded that. And then motion to all approve, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? All right, so we have the 2 amendments. All right, now we've moved past those minutes, right? You're good with those? May 21st work session minutes.
This is being recorded.
Move to approve, give a second.
No, I wasn't there, so I second.
Okay. Any discussion? The work session minutes? Seeing none, all in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. All right, the April 2024 financial report, make a motion to approve.
Second.
Second, okay. Discussion on the financial report. Seeing none, all in favor, signify by saying aye. All opposed? Motion carries. Now we have time for public comment. It's 3 minutes. Please state your name and municipality or location.
I have the timer, so.
Okay.
Hi, my name's Sammy Gerlina, and I live in Indiana. What I'd like to bring to your attention is, you guys are always saying that you're handicap accessible, handicap friendly, but I can just say the local police and businesses on the main strip of Indiana are not handicap friendly. They take advantage of you for your handicap, and I feel, the Indiana police have no, concept of de-escalation skills. They're all ignorant and everything like that. They try to get you because they wanna make their arrests or their things for the month so they can get paid extra money or whatever it is. They have so many they have to get before the end of the month, and they will try anything they can do to get that. So I feel that the Indiana police and local businesses need to, relearn the ADA of 1990. Because none of them accept your disability. You guys say you're handicap friendly, handicap accessible, but deep down inside, that is nothing but a lie to everybody who's handicapped, everybody who is in this town, and everybody who is listening to this on the computer. I just want to say, I would like you guys to actually accept handicapped people, teach local businesses and the police department of de-escalation skills for the handicapped, and follow the AD of 1990. Thank you for your time. Have a good day. Goodbye.
I don't know if this is appropriate, but can you email us any details about circumstances or scenarios that you're familiar with that took place, Jeremy?
This is not.
Okay, I just thought that was okay. Thanks.
Is there any need for an executive session? Committee reports, administration.
Okay, administration committee, we go with the financial parking report, and that's all in your packet. I haven't heard any updates on the new meters that being sent back for there. Did you have one action item? You have in your packet.
There's three.
Oh, yeah, well, we got, that's right, there's two of them that need second,
Yes.
to be second. I was just looking at the minutes, there's one that doesn't need a second, came out of the committee. And that's to accept the waiver sheet from S&T Bank.
Term sheet, accept the term sheet.
Right. That way. I left my notes at home, so we'll okay. To accept the loan, basically the term sheet from S&T Bank was loan to help pay for the building. So that's a motion from the committee. Doesn't need a second. Running the meeting.
Okay. It's for, well, 1,250,000.
Up to, yeah,
Up
it's
to,
a lot of
yes.
stuff. Yeah.
Up
It's a
to,
line too.
Choose an option.
Yes, we're gonna go with option 2 because it's a fixed rate and again, we might not need the whole amount, and once we start drawing down, that it will be a fixed rate.
At that point. Okay, that's great.
Is there any other discussion on this motion?
spending money.
Roll call vote, please.
Yes, Broad,
Yes.
Palazzo,
Yes.
DeBowser, Frick.
Yes.
Lancaster,
Yes.
Newell,
Yes.
Cerniso,
Yes.
Smith,
Yes.
7 yes.
We also have two other motions that appropriately come from the administration committee, but we didn't talk about them at the meeting. These are pay applications, also involved with all the construction stuff. First is a motion to pay CNC Construction Inc. in the amount of $134,713.80. And that needs a second.
Second.
Is there any more discussion on this motion? Can we get a roll call vote?
Yes, Broad,
Yes.
Palazzo,
Yes.
DeBowser, Frick,
Yes.
Lancaster,
Yes.
Newell,
Yes.
Cerniso,
Yes.
Smith,
Yes.
7 yes, 1 absent.
And a similar pay application to HRANEC Sheet Metal Inc. Application 1B in the amount of $17,100.
Discussion on the motion?
Just like to highlight that the last two, they're cost saving measures, right? These are reductions in the cost that they actually would have been.
Right, we did the change orders at the last meeting.
Yeah.
Yes.
Discussion?
Yes. Broad,
Yes.
Palazzo,
Yes.
DeBoser, Brick,
Yes.
Lancaster,
Yes.
Newell,
Yes.
Sarniso,
Yes.
Smith.
Yes.
7 yes, 1 absent.
That's all I have.
Does anyone have any other questions or discussion for Mr. Shin? Moving on to community development, isn't here, who else is on community development? Yeah, here. You have nothing to add? Okay,
Well, we have the report.
we have the report. Do you have any questions? There are no motions coming out of that.
No.
Committee. All right. Let's move on to public safety.
Got two motions, they don't need seconded. Motion to approve open container waiver for the Coney Island or Coney Alley concert sponsored by the Coney Island Restaurant. The event is to be held in the 0 block of South Carpenter Avenue on Saturday, July 27th from 4 p.m. to 10 p.m.
Any discussion on this?
Point of order is that we're approving both the event and the open container waiver, not, and that's,
Okay.
that's for both events.
Okay. Any further discussion? All approved, signify by say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries.
Second motion, move to approve open container waiver for the United Way of Indiana kickoff event. The event is to be held on North 8th Street between Water and Philadelphia Street on Friday, August 16th, from 3 p.m. to 8 p.m.
Discussion on
I have a question, just out of curiosity, were you in the past also? Are these first times for both?
first times.
Again, with this, we're approving the event and the open container waiver.
Okay. Further discussion on that? All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Anything else for public safety? Public works. Let's jump into the awarding the paving contracts and I'll go over some of the minutes. All right, this will need a second. Am I allowed to do this? Moved to award Dairy Construction for the 2024 paving project in the amount of $178,895. Should I second it? Okay. Is there any discussion on that part of the paving project? We get a roll call.
Broad,
Yes.
Palazzo,
Yes.
DeBoser, Brick,
Yes.
Lancaster,
Yes.
Newell,
Yes.
Sarniso,
Yes.
Smith.
Yes.
7 yes, 1 absent.
May I ask a question? Is this the one where the bids were way out of whack? And so,
No, that's
that's the next one.
that's the next one. Okay.
Yeah.
Then the second is the move to award Boney Construction for the Marsh Run Wall Replacement Project in the amount of $120,000. This one needs a second. Is there any discussion?
Is this the one?
This is,
This is the one.
this
And
is,
did we have any findings?
Yeah, there's a letter in there from the audit, or from the engineers. They did the background check. They talked to some references. We physically met with the company. The bids did, like the way Todd Banks said, you know, when you look at between his bid and the second, you know, lowest bidder, that's only 9,000 difference. The other ones, like the one was way, like would have been higher than what we even thought. So,
It's 100,000 less than his expectation though.
that's true. And when when the engineers met with them and, they were coming up, I think it was the equipment cost. They're gonna not have as much heavy equipment involved as probably what these other people, they're gonna do it a lot more by hand. Like they, you know, it's a smaller company.
They did go, they have worked for other municipalities in the past, and our engineers have reached out to them and gave them a good, reference.
So what kind of warranties are on this?
Well, they have their laws.
Good question. Good
And
question.
to be honest with you, that's what our engineers, we called a meeting saying, we don't want this job to bankrupt you or, for this company. Like, do you realize what you're getting into? Like, because once you bid on this job, you bid this number, this is the number you're stuck with. And we don't want to put that person who's trying to start a new company into any danger of losing his company over this. And he's 100% on board with it. Yeah, no, obviously they're insured, they're bonded and anything like that. And they have to pass inspections, and our engineers will have an inspection, and of somebody out there. This has happened with the community center. Do you guys remember those bids
Yes.
coming in
Oh, yeah.
way lower, and they reached out? And so it's not unusual, and it has happened in the past before, so, and the one of the things is this is a grant related, so we would have to reach out to the grant people it's a reversible grant, so.
Yeah.
We maybe can see if we can use that money another place.
So did we hear back from any of the higher bidders saying, well, we could do it cheaper if they try to
Oh,
count?
they can't do that.
I didn't know that. But.
Catch 22 with this, like, lowest bid is,
Yeah.
preferential bidding.
Yeah.
Is there any further discussion on this? Roll call
Yeah.
vote, please.
Broad,
Yes.
Palazzo,
Yes.
Bowser, Brick,
Yes.
Lancaster,
Yes.
Noel,
Yes.
Sarniso,
Yes.
Smith.
Yes.
7 yes, 1 absent.
All right, and continuing public works, I guess this is probably more for the press than anything that, the director wanted to congratulate his workers for a lot of hard work. This has been summer's always a really hard time for public works. There's a lot of paving and painting and patching that is done. So they've been very busy, and our minutes reflect that and all of the repairs they've been doing. We had a really heavy amount of rain last month, which required us to use our detention tank at the wastewater treatment plant. We have a new lab supervisor that started last month. She's been training, but she is now taking over. The Vinegar Hill project is slightly delayed. The next step is gonna happen in August. It won't be happening now. It's supposed to happen in the spring. The 15th Street project is finishing up. There'll be phase 2 coming up.
Yeah.
For bid. Yeah. Our building project is coming along. We awarded the stream bank stabilization bid tonight, and there'll be phase 2 is coming up. We have a number of wastewater treatment projects that we're working on, and we'll be talking. Have you reached out to White Township yet about meeting?
Yes, we had a meeting with our engineers tonight.
Good.
We had a meeting with White Township, and we are looking mid-July for a meeting with the.
Okay, but you met with them already.
We have.
Okay, so they have an idea of what's gonna be on the table.
Yeah. So we'll have the group meeting with Public Works and that. Well, I think we're looking at before our Public Works meeting
Would
at
they
5 o'clock,
come
or
here?
if we can, yeah,
Okay,
or over there, depending on what's open.
for those who haven't attended the joint sewer meeting, it's a meeting of Public Works and White Township and our engineers and staff, so.
Yeah,
It's
and their
lively.
engineers.
It's a lot of
Everybody's
fun.
willing as it sounds.
We talked about rate, like all the projects that are gonna be happening, the upgrades, and like how it's gonna affect the rates and,
Yes.
their customers too, and, yeah, it was good.
Okay, great. So if you're not aware, the wastewater treatment plant also serves White Township, so that's why they have to approve as we're making these changes and using this money, they have to be on board with that. We also adopted a resolution to apply for grant funding for McGregor Park, which is the first ward park. And we allowed for this is not reflected in the language. Right of way, yeah, the right of way, we gave right of way to the builders on Sixth Street.
Yeah.
Yes. All right, that's about it for Public Works. Does anyone else have any questions?
Also, those meetings done between my township.
This year, June, July?
Yeah, and it kind of, yeah, at least once a year. Yeah.
Like it happened in the summer. They usually give us an update on what they're doing stormwater wise, and then we give them an update on what we're doing stormwater wise. And then talk about this part.
Shared account, when you see on the financials, it's called WWTP, that's a joint account that we have with them.
But we don't plan,
We own the land.
and it's in Center Township.
It's complicated. All right. Commission reports, planning commission reports, who's giving that? No one?
Oh.
We just read over it?
You were there,
Planning
Peter.
Commission.
Yeah. Do we have them?
All right, I'm too old, because I keep forgetting, I keep taking copious. I take copious notes.
They talked, they filled
Comp
out
plan.
the comp
Planning
plan.
Commission.
Yeah.
Here we go. There'll be a memo coming from the Zoop consultant, follow up to the field tour.
We did, that did, that should have went out.
And now we're trying to make a list of catalytic projects. These are this is something, cause something to happen without changing. They're talking about controlled parking on the 8th Street corridor. Please approach the borough for suggestions for 7th Street. Identify potential sources of funding. They're looking at these major buildings, things like the NC building, like Country Inn, Brown Hotel. The First Commonwealth building was on the list, but they've been dealt with. And trying to get a list of those to then come up with a plan for.
I was at the most recent meeting about these catalytic opportunities, I guess. And there's a lot of focus on making a connection between the redevelopment that's going to happen by the county at the carriage house and connecting that up to the school and where there is a road that used to access Regency Park. So there's conversation that's going on about making that a park. And there's some other kind of zones like that following waterways that are looking at it, which is
Regency Park is one.
Regency Mall. Sorry.
Parking lot.
Yeah.
And also, either this month or next, we should, there's been an ongoing survey about the historical district and technical report. And they named Bill Douglas as their vice chair and Ron as the secretary of the planning commission.
May I ask where our historical district is? Okay, I was like, I feel like we have quite a historical.
Well, we were
District.
Historic Society and then the original
Yeah.
bank, they're kind of like Sixth Street, so.
There's
Like that little triangle
There-
and everything.
There is a map that spells it out, but this is being worked on to see how far out we want to look. Because we're setting up a historic architecture review board, which will have some authority over changes made to historic buildings in that area. Won't be able to stop things, but this all grew out years ago of a concern about people buying old buildings, tearing it down and putting in parking lots. What are we against?
Anything else from planning? the shade tree.
I attended, I was there, we talked about their budget and, of the plannings that's coming and, tree grades and just, the recent, the tree program, so that was kind of a discussion on. There was somebody there that wasn't against the program, he felt it was like a, incentive for people to take the trees down, and he was worried that too many trees were getting taken down. But, you know, we explained that the only trees that were getting removed were either damaged, dead, or for some reason, you know, hadn't passed Bob's inspection of wanting to take them down.
Mhm.
So we just wanted, that funding was there in order to help with the amount of trees over the years that needed help getting taken down. So that was, one of the discussions. The minutes are in here.
Yeah.
Good question, but we replaced the trees that we took down too, so.
In some cases, yes, yeah, yeah. And they talked about, like, if we redo on, Church Street down by the Public Works barn, that, where that stamped asphalt is on the sidewalks, that the borough did that 20-some years ago. So we are looking to get into that, and about 17 trees will have to come down, but they were gonna replace them with a different type of trees that won't grow up into the power lines and stuff. Because that's the problem with those trees down there, is that they all got cut from kind of like that came in and chopped them all up, so. That was part of the discussion.
And how much of that, when somebody has a tree removed, how do you gauge how much funding
It's
supports
just
it?
50%. We just did 50%, because the trees are normally, I don't think there's has been a tree over $1,000. I mean, other than that big one recently, was on the higher end, but mostly you're talking, you know, the tree cost to remove it was around $600, $700, $800. So the refunds were half, like.
Else for shade tree? Personnel reports.
I don't have much other than it's busy time of year, everybody's busy, construction's going on over there, Public Works is busy, police is busy, everybody's busy. Lori and I have been talking about, I think we're gonna do like a appreciation, everybody has been working their butts off with the movement out, we wanna do something for our employees, like have a luncheon, and I mean, we'll send it out, you guys will be invited, we'll do something, we're gonna talk to the chief about using the garage or something, so just to give a nice luncheon, a little pick me up to the employees, they work their butts off to this move, so we're coming up with some ideas. So we'll let you guys know, it's gonna happen probably at the end of the month. Okay. Much time. No, just come on.
So there would be there.
There will be.
Get these water buses to take us over.
Yeah. Taxes just went up. Sorry, okay.
That's.
So,
Anything else? Okay, all right. Chief.
Thank you. We've had an active last weekend in town with events, and we have another active weekend of events coming up this weekend. High school graduation being Friday night, and then two events, well, one event in IRMC Park on Saturday, and another event on Philadelphia Street on Sunday. So that will be the Pride Fest, and then the downtown Indiana car cruise would be Sunday afternoon. So we plan on Indiana being busy, and we again just ask everyone to be patient and mindful when they're traveling to and from town. And I want to congratulate all the high school seniors, including my daughter, Council Palazzo's daughter, who worked very hard to graduate this year. If anyone else had family members who were graduating, I apologize, but congratulations to them as well. I have a few recognitions for the month. One was to Patrolman First Class Joshua Yokitis. He demonstrated a compassionate police effort and extended goodwill to a person in need at a local convenience store by extending himself and some of his personal money to facilitate the need that they had at Sheets. So that was really above and beyond, and I'll have that full letter in packet for public safety next week. I issued a recognition of performance to Joshua Henning, again, Patrolman First Class. He participated in the law enforcement torch run on behalf of the police department, and the memo serves to recognize his demonstrated fitness, selflessness, and willingness to represent himself, his family, Indiana Borough, and the police department by participating in a 6+ mile portion of the 2024 law enforcement torch run that benefited Special Olympics. And so kudos to him for being able to run 6 miles with the torch in his hand, but for his willingness certainly to represent everyone. Joshua Pitus, who I mentioned before, he achieved in rank his Patrolman First Class status, which means that he completed his 5th full year of service. He was the first officer actually that I had the honor of hiring as your chief. So it's a big deal for both of us, and I appreciate his service. And he's an extreme asset to the community. And then I was issued a thank you by the IUP Police Academy. I participated in some interviews for their cadets. And so that letter will be there as well. Other than that, the police department is fully moved downstairs. We thank the Public Works Department very much for their time and effort in getting us from the upstairs to the downstairs. I hope that the move felt seamless to the public. It was not seamless, but we were well supported. And other than unpacking some boxes, we are fully functional in our new space. So hopefully we'll be there very temporarily, but it's a nice accommodation and we appreciate the partnership in moving. And then just finally today, we posted a press release and something to Facebook, but we had a very nice community win today. A 4-year-old was missing from his home in the East Ward. We had a very quick response to the area with a lot of partners. We found him nearby, unharmed and safe. And so it was a good opportunity for his family and the police to have a conversation and again, share some goodwill with each other. So I just appreciate all the time, all the opportunity that I have to lead with you. And I thank you very much.
Chief? Oh, but when I came home around 4 AM, I came down Borough Street. And there was a whole bunch of garbage that had ripped through, so I'm not sure if Bear was up there having a picnic day in the day. I did not see old trash.
All right, the solicitor's not here, so we can't get a report. You all received the IUP report. All right, elected, I am not gonna get the report, so I'm not gonna get my council vice president report. Mayor?
What does the mayor do?
Just a learning day.
It's every day, to be honest. Basically focusing on public safety. Of course, I spend a lot of time with police, fire, and EMS. And also community development and checking on how we can upgrade our tax base because the type of coverage that we have right now with police, fire, and EMS is very good. And we want to keep it that way. We don't want to go in the wrong direction. I'm really worried about the ambulance service. We have meetings all the time. I have a 4-hour meeting tomorrow to figure out how to find sustainable funding source. If you look at EMS throughout Pennsylvania and the country, they're going bankrupt. Just no question about it. I think I've told people that, you know, when you go last month, when they went to 90 calls, perform services, they refused to transport, got didn't make it. And that costs you at least maybe $800 each time you do that. And then you have Medicare reimbursement that covers maybe about half of that. So that's a real issue that we're working on, trying to come up with a sustainable funding source. But I really want to focus on community development from a standpoint is we need to bring more businesses in here. We have to understand that with the enrollment down, our student housing taxes that people are going in and getting reassessed, meaning that they pay less in taxes. So it's going to come back to get us. And so we have to become very creative. So we're working on all that. And anything that you have in mind, you can help out. And I'll tell you one thing that I bumped into a couple that moved to Indiana. They both work remotely. Their companies aren't even here. But one of the reasons, two of the reasons, one being that it's a safe place to be. And that's what we have to continue to focus on, and it's public safety. And the other thing is the school district. You know, and sure, our taxes are higher, but that's another attraction that we have. So, you know, we've got to work on all that and promote it. And so that's kind of what I do. Every day there's something that the chief saw me getting into good discussion even on the way in here tonight. So and I like to walk up and down Philadelphia Street. And we do get into a lot of good conversation. So any suggestions you might have that can help me out, I appreciate it. Thank you.
All right, any old business? New business? Talk about upcoming events and positive community impacts. Throw out.
Sorry, I'm really excited because I never have one. I just noticed that, that it's not in the borough, but the S&T Arena is having an ethnic food festival on June 15th and 16th. I guess it's a really big event. I'd never heard of it before, but it sounds like there's a lot of vendors and a lot of people that come through. I really like the Main Mart, so I'm excited to go to this one.
What are you doing this weekend? Because the S&T is also having their flea market and vendor events.
Maybe I should just move over there.
Angels Wings is a group locally, and they're having a nice big flea market as well this weekend, so thank the S&T Arena for being there.
Any other events? We'll
Jeff?
shout out.
Just an update from my last month's announcement.
Yeah, how did your trivia go?
Yes, we raised $1,200 for the town.
That's pretty good. You got a little trivia night going.
You're gonna do that monthly?
No, annually, I can only do one a year. But it's my best one.
There you go. Any other events? Molly?
All right, we got, you all know that the Pride Festival will be the 8th. There's also going to be a concert downtown at the Indian Theater. I believe it's supposed to be folky bluegrass, midnight, something, yes. It looks interesting, but on top of that, Sunday we have a car show that is 3 to 7 p.m. Third Thursday is on June 20th, and that is going to be the Kiera Smith Band, and that's it for June. Yes.
Did something go on with Harry Potter recently?
Yes.
How did that go?
It was between the Indiana Theater and our local Girl Scouts, and they had done a very nice display and interactive stuff on the 4th floor of the theater building. And the theater showed all 8 movies of Harry Potter between Friday and Sunday. So.
Any other events?
I went to the play to saw, my friend was in the play Murdered to Death. It was funny. It was at the Indiana Theater. She was in it. It was funny. It was good. It's happening. Sheriff Stillman's husband's in it too. It's funny. Oh, I'm so sorry.
Go for it.
Oh, sorry. The farmer's market's back every Saturday.
Yes,
it's
right.
gonna be
Yes.
twelve. Yeah, let me give that a shout out. And then our summer concerts in the park on Sundays, every day, or every Sunday at 5:30. That's also kicked back up again.
And that's-
I love June for this reason.
That's getting a lot of people. I went past it Sunday. I know on the 30th at the end of the month, the Historical Society and Appalachian Folk Festival people are putting together they're gonna have a 40s era band. The only one big band that's in Western PA. They're gonna do a free concert on that Sunday. And a Historical Society on the, I believe it's the Tuesday, the 18th, they have a speaker, a local writer, wrote a book on the Pittsburgh Pirates, and he's gonna talk about writing the book and sport in Indiana County. But the Historical Society, I'm on the board there, and we've got a dynamic group of people. We're gonna have a lot of good programming. I know coming up in the fall, we're gonna have an exhibit program on high school and high school football with all kind of stuff pertaining to county high schools, and Sunday, Friday nights and Saturday afternoon football games and what it was like. But there's a lot of good stuff going on in this county.
So that 40s era band doesn't have any of the original band members.
No, but it's the only one in Western PA.
They'll be here in spirit.
Memorial Day, they had weekend, they had the NAF and the Historical Society got together and they brought in, they paid to have reenactment band from the late Civil War era music, and then people in costume and the whole bit for that era.
What day is that, the 30th?
That was, the 30th is when they have the big band coming in. We were talking about it at our meeting just before this one. They also have local bands, rock bands and folk bands and all, but if you like big band music, it might be a good show. It's free, the price is great. You bring a lawn chair and you sit. You don't like it, you leave.
Any other events or announcements? Okay, our motion to adjourn.
Wow.
7:45.